And as you heard, we're back on Gentleman's Hall, and this is during every second hour where I'm going to have a segment called Smooth Analysis, as you just heard on the commercial. It's where I talk about, again, an issue that is very important, that I feel hasn't gotten enough coverage, or has been simply ignored by the mainstream media. And today, we're going to talk about something that I just released an article about. This article was really just published a couple days ago. It was a part of it. It's dealing with child pornography and how that is being spread on social media, and especially Twitter, with very slow response time to do anything about it. Let me explain to you an issue that I witnessed. It was a month ago that was happening. It was happening live. There was a very pornographic Twitter account that 100% honestly was all children, and the account was found and reported, had to be hundreds of times, and in the article, which I'll have a link to in the description, there was tons of reports. The Anonymous Collective found it and tried to get as many people as possible to report the account. It was disturbing, to say the least. And hours went by and nothing was done. There was links there where you could just click the link. People could go into Twitter's their support page where you can report accounts that are child pornography accounts, and many people did. Many people use the other method of reporting content, and nothing was done. The account was still there, and until 3 hours later, when whoever the disturbing individual who was running that account simply changed the handle. And I know that because when you went back to the account, it did not say suspended. It said this account is the not available thing, basically when you typed in a wrong account handle. And that bothered me, as it should bother everyone that reads the article. It should bother everyone that hears this, because over 3 hours, hundreds of reports on an issue, hundreds of them. I made several of them. I made 2 of them. I specifically even mentioned in my reports that I'm an independent investigative journalist that noticed this. Can you get this off your platform quickly as possible? And it never happened. And I'm sure if Twitter were to ever answer questions about it, which is sadly unlikely, before this article was released, I did send their press email a message asking for comment. Almost a week later, nothing. I gave them 48 hours, then I released the article, and I haven't received anything from them to this day. And there's going to be more articles about stuff that's going on their platform, but child pornography and the very disturbing abuse of children is a huge problem around the world, not just for Twitter, or that they don't quite move quickly enough to get that material off of their sites. It's just there was a brief reporting in the United States about comfort women, which is such a such a pleasant sounding thing for something that was disgusting. And there were Korean women who were basically not basically, they were sex slaves for Japanese men during Second World War. Japanese soldiers in the Second World War. I mean, the stories about that were disgusting back then. And Japan, I believe that the total was $16 million they paid to all the remaining survivors of surviving comfort women, which is nothing. These women were brutalized. It's brutalized. And some of them were not adults. And now, we even have ISIS also on Twitter using the platform to promote sex slaves, child brides. There's a picture of a young female from the Middle East with blue eyes. I believe she's Syrian. That was spread around on Twitter by ISIS members as a mocking that she was sold to someone as a sex, as a bride, child bride. She, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old. It's disgusting to think about. And if you have an ounce of humanity, it will sicken you on the inside to think that this is happening to children. To think that she could be getting brutalized right this second. To be completely honest, that's what's on my mind when I think about that. It's disgusting. Simply disgusting. When we think about that this is a problem around the world. There's also another picture I saw of a little girl being auctioned off. Crying. Knowing what's going to happen to her. I also recently saw a video of a 11-year-old girl who ran away from her parents because they wanted to sell her to an adult man to basically be sexually assaulted. She was eventually murdered because she tried to run away. And then she released a video before then basically pleading with how could people do this to their children and their daughters and just treat them like they were currency, basically. What century is this again? Like, I mean, you seriously do have to ask yourself that. Have we not grown past this as a humanity? Like, as a people? Like, what part of your brain makes you think brutalizing a child in this way is acceptable? Even if some people say, which I don't accept as a blanket excuse, that it's a mental disorder, because in certain cultures it's normal. It's not a disorder. A lot of cultures feel that this is okay and this is standard practice. And so I don't think it's necessarily going to be a disorder. Well, it's a cultural disorder, but it's not going to be a mental disorder in every single case. So I don't accept the blanket excuse for anything ever being just cause a mental disorder. That seems to be a cop-out, in my opinion. And then child slavery is a thing that's going on all around the world. I mean, if you look close enough, you'll see people getting busted for child pornography all the time in the United States. Jared Fogle, huge case. He just got busted for pedophilia. I mean, it's just the thing. He wasn't, not to excuse him, but he wasn't sleeping with 8-year-olds, but still. And it's just something that I just don't see or hear talked about enough. I don't see articles about it on, even if you're talking about a Salon Raw story or anything like that. I don't even see TYT talking about it. Secular Talk, I don't see them talking about it. Even Tom Hartman, I don't really hear him talking about it much. I mean, even if you even want to go to the conservative side, Al Jones, Infowars, all that stuff, you don't even see him with his thousands of ridiculous conspiracy theories going and stuff like that. I mean, why don't we talk about this? We can actually do something if we talk about this. That defeats the whole argument, as I spoke about in the last segment, that if you don't talk about it, it'll go away. That pedophilia, abusing of children, child pornography hasn't gone away. We don't talk about it. I mean, it doesn't get any more basic than that. We don't talk about it, and it's still here. I mean, I don't really know what needs to happen for us to, accept it as a problem and do something about it.